online.
And tonight she is tracking the latest online scam with the help of carbuyingtipscom. And this one involves bogus vehicle identification reports. Here is Christina's report.
So he says, "Hi, is your 1997 Jaguar XJ6, four-door green luxury sedan for sale still?"
That text message is a response to Ostrov's post about a used car for sale. Sounds innocent, right?
Nobody talks like that. They would say, "Hi, is your Jaguar still available?"
But look what happens next. The buyer requests a vehicle history report and sends Ostrov a link that turns out to be an unsecured website. Enter in credit card information and...
They're just emailing it to themselves, so now they have your credit card number. It's a complete, total paradigm shift. You think you're selling a car, and you're ending up walking into the vortex of a phishing scam.
Ostrov also cautions of frauds using Craigslist to gain your confidence.
There it is, the warning's there, and they always ignore it. Anytime you hear the words Western Union, cashier's check, shipping company, when you hear those kinds of things, you need to run as fast as you can, because Craigslist is local use only. Okay, so you're about to list your used car for sale on eBay or Craigslist or Cars.com or Autotrader or any of the major auto classified sites. But before you get the sign ready and before you get your car loaded up online, you better watch this video, because today we're going to show you everything there is to know about the vehicle history report scam that you're going to be faced with. Because virtually 100% of people that place an ad online for a used car to sell get hit up by these scammers. And today we're going to show you the ins and outs of the scam and how it operates. And we're going to show you actual correspondence between us and a scammer trying to scam us. And we're going to show you how to avoid these scams. And it all starts right now. We knew that a lot of people were getting duped.
Jeff Ostrov is CEO of carbuyingtipscom. He says education is key. His website informs consumers on how to spot fraud when buying and selling cars.
Hey everybody, Jeff here, and welcome back to the carbuyingtips.com channel. Hey, if this is your first time here, I just wanted to remind you to take this time out to subscribe to us down below by hitting that subscribe button. And make sure you click on the gray bell icon right next to it there. That will alert you every time we upload a video so you don't miss a single one. Here is our Craigslist ad that we uploaded. This was a 1997 Jaguar that we actually sold a few years ago. And what we did was we priced it through the roof here. See that 19.5? We priced it so high that we wouldn't attract any normal car buyers. No sane human being would ever respond to an ad with a price that high. So we were here only to attract the scammers. And within 30 minutes of this ad going live, we got our first scammer. So these guys are using robot programs to come in and just look for new listings, and within 30 minutes you start getting contacted by them. But you can see fully functional ad here, just waiting, just put out our fishing net and waiting for the first scammer, and we knew it would not take long at all. Okay, too many people fall for this scam, so that's why we made this video. But you can see this particular scammer here is an idiot. He completely dropped the ball on this one, because in the middle of the text you can see he says, "Could you get a VIN report from?" But he didn't provide the link to his fake VIN report site, so he's not going to get any business today from us or any particular victims. So this guy really, so you can see that right there where the arrow is, that's where he forgot to put in the link to his website. So he's the one that's losing out today. He will get no victims today. Okay, so here's an initial contact you'll get from them through the Craigslist interface here. And this is a classic strategy they pull. This guy was even more stupid because, all right, what they try to do here is their goal is to get you outside of that Craigslist relaying email thing. So now that they have you out of there and it can't be traced or anything, and any links that they try to send you won't be blocked by Craigslist's automatic ghosting system. He tells you, hey, contact me at this email, and he's get this email address here, and this guy spells it all out. So there's a lot of tech unsavvy people out there that are going to have a hard time figuring out what the heck is this guy trying to tell them to do. But I knew what to do. You do the @gmail. So we email him, and now we're outside of the Craigslist system, and let's go see what he responds back with. Okay, so assuming you're foolish enough to click on this link that they give you here, so you can see it automatically sends you to this page now, this vehicle seller blog thing, some stupid looking page here that's basically nothing. And if you look up here in the upper left, you can see it's not a secure page anyway, so that should be one red flag. But these guys are getting smarter because they are now starting to use your pages. So I guess this stupid blog post they put up is supposed to make you click on this to go to another page now. So now you can see the address changes up in the upper left here, and it's a secure site now. So it's getting a lot easier to build a secure site than it was years ago. It's pretty much almost automated now when you take out a new domain name. So anyway, I mean, it looks very professional what they do here to trick you. And it says right in the middle here, helping classified sellers since 2009. And you know that's a joke here because we're going to take this domain name right here, which, by the way, you can see how it says vincheck.report. It's not even a .com name. So these are the little things that should create little red flags for you. But anyway, we're going to cut and paste this entire URL here, and we're going to go look it up on Central Ops and see who owns it and when it was created. And we just hit the go button there. It takes a few seconds and it comes right back. And you can see right here the create date. Let's highlight the update date and the create date. And so you can see this was created in 2015. So this is actually a fairly old one that they've reused a number of times, because normally when we do this, you'll see the site's only a few weeks old. And certainly you can see here, right now we're in July, and this page was updated in May. So they did something with this page here. This is actually a pretty good gauge to help uncover more red flags for you. And certainly when you go back into this web page here, you know, like I said, you look for these stupid little things that they trip up on and they forget to double check. So how can they be helping classified sellers since 2009 if the original version of this domain name was only taken out in 2015? It's obvious that this has been reused over and over again for a number of their scams. Okay, so here is something else to look at too here. So we're going to enter a VIN here and have it check this VIN. Now I'm going to create a number that I know here isn't going to work. That's not a legitimate VIN number. A legitimate VIN number would have 17 digits on. So we're going to stick this number in here and check the VIN. And here it's got the VIN explanation. So that right there is kind of weird verbiage there. But it says, oh, we can check 65 record points for this VIN. Okay, so, oh, okay. Well, it didn't tell me that that wasn't a legitimate VIN number, or I wonder why. Let's see if it lets me order a report. And there it is. Look at that. They're ready to take my credit card information and everything. So they're ready to charge you $20 for a bogus VIN number that you entered. That's nothing. So that's all this thing is. It's just a shopping cart that's put in place just to take your money. And who knows what you'll get, if anything. Sometimes you get nothing. Sometimes you get just a watered down report that doesn't really have any useful information on it. Sometimes they will just give you a watered down VIN code, which they get for free by looking it up on the internet automatic. And so they're really not giving you anything here for this. So let's go and go to AutoCheck, which is a legitimate one. Let's try to enter that same VIN number here and see what it says. Oh, see, they flag us. They won't even let us continue because they know it's not a legitimate one. And if we go to run another one here, let's try to enter a VIN, that same number here, and see, they won't even let you get past the entering stage here. So that's another way to show that this thing is just totally bogus here. When you come back to this website here, totally bogus. By the way, let me show you something else that you can prove that these are bogus here. Is like, let's click on the Twitter button here. Well, it doesn't take you anywhere. It doesn't go you to click on the Facebook button. It doesn't go anywhere. There is no. So these guys always like to throw a bunch of fake logos up on their websites to make it look like they're affiliated with all these different companies. Some of them will splash eBay logos up there, and Amazon logos, and PayPal, and all of these other companies, and Trust E, And when you click on the trustee button, it doesn't really take you to anything that would confirm that they're a legitimate company. Okay, now most people are unaware that Craigslist puts warnings here at the bottom of every single listing. So here you can see it here, and they're reasonably obvious, you know. So let's zoom down on it and see what they're giving us. So they're telling us all of these checklist items here, and see where it says avoid scams and deal locally here. Beware of Western Union, cashier's checks, and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and click on that. And you can see it brings up this whole list of stuff that they want to tell you here about avoiding these scams. And of course, nobody ever checks on it. But let's zoom in a little bit and let's see what we're looking at here. So they're telling you here, deal locally, face to face. Follow this one rule and avoid 99% of all scam attempts here. So they got a list of bullet items here of things to do is don't give any money to any form or entity if you haven't met them in person. You know, a legitimate buyer shows up and pays you cash. They don't come up with all sorts of cockamamie ways for you to end up sending money out. So I want to make sure that you keep that in mind. And also, anytime you hear the words like Western Union or gift card or Visa card or MoneyGram, anytime you hear words like that, just stop contacting these guys any further because it's all a scam. Now you'll notice here I'm highlighting the fact here that transactions are between users only. There's no such thing as a third-party person or company providing any type of payment guarantee because it's not needed. You're supposed to deal locally only. The person shows up, they pay you money for your item, and they leave with the item. There's no games about shipping or anything like that. And do not rent any kind of apartment or anything sight unseen on Craigslist because, again, over and over again, we're going to emphasize this fact that Craigslist is meant to be used for local use only, and it's supposed to be person to person, dealing in person, no games, no links to websites, no go here and go there, and no contact me on this email address or anything like that. It's they simply contact you through the listing, they come and buy the item, and they leave. It's just that simple. By the way, I also want to point out to you that these scams will affect you no matter what classified site you're on. So whether you're using Craigslist or eBay or Autotrader or cars.com or even the little no-name sites that nobody's ever heard of, they will attack you there too, because we hear from people all the time who are getting scammed from fake ads for vehicles that don't exist, RVs, motorcycles, and even boats on the smallest of no-name ad sites that I've never even heard of. They'll send me the link to the ad and say, Jeff, take a look at this ad. Do you think this is good or bad? And we can tell that they're frauds right away. So make sure you're always keeping focus here, okay? And just use common sense and learn how to discern these scams as we show you. Okay, so we have 5 tips here. These are our main tips that will help you avoid this and other of your common scams on the online classified sites, okay? First of all, one thing I want you to remember is when you put a used vehicle or anything up for sale on Craigslist or eBay or Autotrader or any of the classified sites, remember this, folks. Focus on this one fact. You have something for sale, money should be flowing to you like this, right? It's coming to you. Money should never be going away from you. So the minute any type of suggestion comes up that says, go to this link and pay for something or get some report or send money here, anytime you see something like that, it's an automatic fraud and you should just break off communication with them because it is a scam. Money always flows towards you when you have something listed for sale on Craigslist or eBay. Don't ever forget that, and that's what people always forget. Number 2, keep in mind, I want to explain to you the way a legitimate transaction happens on sites like Craigslist. Buyer calls you up, Jeff, can I come see your car? Yes. Let me come by at 6 p.m. They come by at 6 p.m. They look at your car, they pay you, they drive off with it. That's exactly how a traditional Craigslist transaction is supposed to occur. So if a buyer sends you any type of text link and tells you to go to some other site, that's an automatic fraud. Just keep that in mind. No legitimate buyer ever does that. You're calling up the seller, you're going to look at the item, you're buying the item, end of story. Anything else is fraud. Number 3, if anybody ever offers to send you a check, or you hear the words Western Union, or put the change on a gift card, or do this or that, or MoneyGram, or anything other than I'll be there at 6 p.m. to pay cash, if you hear anything other than that, it is a fraud. Okay, number 4, don't ever let them send you a check for something. And they'll say, oh, put that check in your account. I want to make sure it clears your bank account first before we finish the transaction. So you'll put it in your bank account. The bank will put the funds in your account, but guess what happens? A few days later, the check will bounce, and that's when the scammers get you. They come in between that window, that time window, and they tell you, oh, I sent you too much money. Can you wire me back the change? And that's where the scam comes in. So don't let them send you a check. They're supposed to show up locally and pay you in person. Number 5, there is no such thing really as third-party escrow that's usable on Craigslist or any of these other advertising sites. Now they'll tell you, oh, we're going through Amazon payment agents or PayPal payment agents, or don't worry, we're going through Yahoo or Google Wallet or Apple Pay. Whatever payment agent they say they're using, it's a complete total scam. Why would they need to use that anyway? They're showing up, they're going to pay cash for your item, and that's all you need to know about. And same thing if you're supposed to buy something from them online. Don't go through any of these alleged payment agents, because they don't do escrow. There is no legitimate site that can do escrow, especially in all states. Okay, one other thing to remind you about, especially with Craigslist, our best advice that we can give you is only deal face-to-face. Okay, if you're on email with these people and they're giving you all sorts of things, oh, I'm going to come by at 6, and then, oh, I'm going to come by at 10, and oh, can we do it tomorrow? And then they email you tomorrow. They're just playing you, because eventually they're going to say, I can't make it. I can't show up today. Sorry. And I'm going to send my shipper, and my shipper is going to do this, that, and the other. And so the scam is going to start spiraling out of control from there. Okay, so always deal locally. If the person doesn't show up at your door to buy your vehicle, don't deal with them. And those are our best tips to help save you from getting ripped off from selling your used vehicle online on the used car classified websites. So then the buyer lowers the boom on you and says, oh, guess what? I can't make it. Really? You can't show up to look at the car? Why did you call in the first place? How did you expect to buy the car if you weren't going to show up? So that's how you poke holes in their story. And the same works in reverse too. When they have a car listed for sale and you say, when can I come look at it? Okay, you're going to get all sorts of excuses like, oh, I'm over in Afghanistan, I'm in the military, I'm out of the country, it's locked up in a warehouse and we can't get to it. Well, then how do you expect me to buy it from you if it's locked up in a warehouse and we can't get to it? But yet you expect me to send you payment for it. So those are the other types of scams to watch out for as well. We'll do other videos on that. We have all sorts of videos we're currently working on right now for you. Oh, and let me just remind you, if you're finding this video useful so far, do yourself a favor and make sure you click on that subscribe button down below, and then click on the bell icon next to that. That way you'll be alerted every single time we upload a video, because you don't want to miss any of our great consumer advocate videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you watching our videos, and we'll see you on the next one.